Mono green flare with the new green prepared card. This the Studious first year. I missed this in the PowerPoint, but this gives you 8 one drops for flare, and you also just get to go like play this turn 1, turn 2, rampant growth, then flare, and you have 5 mana. And so I'm pretty interested in like just kind of seeing how this package performs. I think there's a few different ways you could play it. I put it in like the most normal like rampant to Karn, rampant to Ugin, rampant to Emrakul package. You also get to play Winter Moon, which is like usually really good when you're using Flare as a ramp spell. Just play one as a Karn tutor target. It ends up being like a really powerful effect that you really only get access to with this package. So we could play that. We also have the Red Emeritus and the Izzet flashback deck we need to get to soon. We also have the Jeskai Critique deck, and we have the Mardu Hardened Academic Reanimator. I think let's do the Flare deck. I'm really interested in this package. And I think we'll probably try to commit to Izzet flashback after that. Which package? Let me show you. So Flare of Cultivation. This is fast mana in Modern. It lets you 4/0 mana rampant growth and also put another land in your hand for the next turn. It's like when you go Arboreal Grazer into Flare of Cultivation, that's super powerful. You have 4 mana turn 2. You're not even like Flare is also like a 2-for-1. And so you're not even like really behind on cards, and like you're even on cards. Very, very powerful. And the problem is there's just not really another 1 mana flare creature, kind of like how in Belcher you need like eight of the 2 drops for blue flare. You kind of need 8 1 drops for green flare. There's now another good flare creature. Don't you already have 8 1 drops for flare at Boreal Grazer Pioneer? So the problem with Pioneer is you can't. We have played Pioneer, and it's the quantity of basics you have to play sucks. Like it's really difficult. And we're playing a lot of basics in this build, but like we would have to play even more than this. Like usually when I played Elvish Pioneer, I'd have to pick either Temple or Ugin's Lab, and you couldn't play both. And Studious first year is slower, but it's also not. It's also not 8 card disadvantage 1 drops. That's another problem. When your deck has 8 Grazers and Pioneers, you only really ever want to draw 1, maybe 2 of them. When you draw 3, it sucks. This card at least is like a rampant growth. You know what I mean? This card at least is not just card disadvantage by itself, which I think is a pretty big deal. And the fact that you're not only putting in basics is really nice. And so like we have tested Pioneer pretty extensively, and it never tested super duper well. It wasn't ever awful. And so I think this is like the most obvious shell to try it in. There's also like the mono green coffer shell, which I think I want to try, but I want to try this one first. What would you take to important tourney? 2026 Rectus Mid, turn 2 Airship Forge, or Blue Red Araya? Definitely Blue Red Araya of those. Okay, I'm going to keep this on the draw. My opponent is leading on an Orderly Plaza. Could be Belcher, is Belcher with the Lotus Bloom Suspend. And as is the case when you play combo matchups, we're going to prioritize resolving Karn. Good turn 2 Karn if we just drew an Ugin's Lab. Yeah, playing Winter Moon in this package back when we were testing it early MH3, it definitely felt like a pretty nice thing to do. It's like you almost never get to play Winter Moon, but as a Karn tutor target, it does play really well. So let's see if this Rumble resolves. It does resolve. We find it a copy of Eldrazi Temple. I think we're going to take over a forest. And then we could cast Karn next turn to stop the Lotus Blooms and hope that resolves. We also could potentially hold up K Command to exile Lotus Bloom from the graveyard for Tamashi, and then we would be pretty close to being able to cast Emrakul the following turn. So like that would be Emrakul would cost 8, and we have 5/6 here. I guess maybe what we want to do is maybe we just want to cycle K Command for 0. So that if we draw Ugin's Labyrinth or another Eldrazi Temple, we can cast Emrakul. And if we don't, we can just cast Karn. And this can play around counter magic better. No way Karn resolves. I bait counter with K Command. Well, I have 2 Karns, so like I think baiting a counter doesn't make that much sense when I just have 2. But I think this is the line to again try to try to set up for Emrakul. Although, I guess we could still draw a double land for Emrakul next turn because Karn's going to put a Planeswalker in the yard, but having to sack the spawn here stinks. I guess maybe I shouldn't F6, but... Alright, Serenaded. Yeah, not enough people for the challenge. We could also draw a Flare. Flare does give me untapped 4th mana. Is Studious first year really better than Soccer Tribe Elder, aka Steve? Yeah, Soccer Tribe Elder does not sacrifice to Flare of Cultivation well. And Flare of Cultivation is a really powerful card. It also stays in play, you know, like blocks Ragavan, and, you know, that's not nothing, but not the most important either. So they have a Tamashii to go with the Bloom. We are dead to a Belcher. What about playing Trudge with Fnatic in this green Flare shell? No. You can play the Flare package as your mana engine, or you can play the Trudge stuff, but you don't want to overlap. It doesn't make sense. It looks like nothing too out of the ordinary. So usually in these kind of matchups, I will board in tutor targets, especially if like Karn's passive is already locking up the game, so I don't need Needle in the sideboard because Karn's passive is already a Pithing Needle. Could play Cursed Totem for Tamashii. It's a little narrow, maybe. I think I will play the Trinisphere. I'm gonna be going down a couple Ugins, although keeping them as imprintables is also okay. I think I'll play the Vexing Bauble in the main. And we could Cursed Totem over... I'll play one Ugin. Alright, on the play. Well, we got our sideboard card. It's kind of a weird hand, huh? But definitely going to keep. We also have Boseiju, which can Stone Rain them. Let's lead on the Vexing Bauble. Why did you use Snowlands in the first iteration? This deck's not here. When I play Snowlands in a deck, which I don't even actually like, are they just in the is it Snowlands in the Mox field? I don't even know what you're talking about. But literally, the only time I grab Snowlands, I think you might be thinking of like the Snow-Covered Wastes. But Snow-Covered Wastes is just weirdly like the first thing that comes up when you type Wastes, and I just grab that. But I'm not playing a Waste here. Okay, I'll grab the Temple. 3 types in the yard for Karn will be 5 after the K command. But I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's no reason to play snow-covered lands. I just encourage you not to get like tripped up about it, you know. And it doesn't need to be like a whole conversation. There's not a reason to play snow-covered lands in this deck. Yeah, and then break the ice isn't a reason to. You should not run them because break the ice, and you don't need me to tell you that. You know that just as well as I do. Let's keep both these. So my Emrakul costs 8. I have 8 next turn. I think that if they have Consign, they may use it on. They may use it on this Pithing Needle. Maybe we start with Stirrings. Although maybe if I reveal Karn, which I am going to do. This could be a bit awkward, but I'm going to cast Needle next. Cast Needle next, and they're just going to let this resolve. Do they jam Harbinger? No, they might have Harbinger in their deck. It's not really that good against me. Like, it's not, it like just makes where I can't cast K command. They Serenade the Needle, which is kind of a funny image. Okay, so they had both. You know, I kind of like their decision to just wait on the counter magic there. I feel like that was a really good spot where you like just think counter. That really made me play the Karn. Where if they had just slammed the counter spell, I don't know that I'm gonna play Karn there. I think it's pretty wise. They reveal a sync to the Thundertrap trainer. They play it untapped. So if I draw an untapped land, I can cast this Emrakul. I have 4, 5, 6, and it costs 7 right now. They put a Waterlogged Teachings into their hand there. I guess instead I'll just cast Ugin, which will let me cast the Emrakul next turn. We have a Vexing Bauble in play, so I don't need to be afraid of anything. I'm not afraid anymore. See why it's Snowlands, extra planar lands in the sideboard. Oh, there was a reason! That was a long time ago. Ellipses of the 31 months. Thank you. Welcome back. That's right. So, okay. So we had... how could I forget the extra planar lens? I put this in... Okay, this was... When Dingo was over here live testing with me, I told him about this tech of you can Karn for extra planar lens, and if you play all snow-covered forests, then it doesn't affect your opponent's forest. And he's like, that's so stupid. So I left it in the whole time for our testing, and it was like pretty relevant the whole time, or like not the whole time, but like enough of the time that he was like annoyed. It was fun times. All right, so let's cast the Karn. And I think we get Coating. So if we get Coating, target Belcher, they can still bounce. Coating target land plays around Sync. It doesn't play around the Gift of Fish card. I guess I could just get a Haywire Mite actually. I feel like I have not used Haywire Mite almost at all lately. Oh, right, Winter Moon. No, that was the play. I think Mite's fine as well. I think both are going to be game winning, but no, yeah, Winter Moon was the move. Don't need to target Belcher. We do. We play around double bounce spell here by targeting Belcher. No, you don't want to hold it up. Just main phase it. You had 7 mana to cast Emrakul? Yeah, I think this was better. Oh, right, I could just Belchered them. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I could have just... I don't know why I didn't realize I could just Belcher them. They put a Teachings in their hand instead of a... Oh, wait, what? Okay, I messed up the reveal. They milled the Tamashi, the Archaeologist. What does targeting Belcher with Coating achieve? So I was thinking that it could play around... It doesn't accomplish anything. I was just kind of thinking out loud, but I was thinking it could accomplish playing around a bounce spell, but it does not do that, no. Alright, so let's cast Emrakul, I guess. Now, I boarded in my Pithing Needle, by the way, and it is in the graveyard. Yeah, I know it's already an artifact. I know it doesn't do anything. You may have heard me say, I know it doesn't do anything. I was just thinking out loud. Okay, let's go to game 3. Explosives on 0 is kind of interesting for Suspended Blooms. Ugin was good that game, but I think I'm going to play explosives. So we have a Flare. We don't have a 1-mana green creature. It's also kind of awkward if we draw one if we're wanting to lean in on this Vexing Bauble. It is really nice to have a Vexing Bauble in play. Or in hand. I think I should just mulligan. So we have Grazer and Flare. I think I guess I'll just keep a land over another Flare. Vexing insta-win. Vexing is not an insta-win against Blue Belcher. It's pretty good, though. So my opponent has kept 7. They're thinking. They play a tapped Plaza. Ooh. Does this let me turn 2 kick Mycospawn? I think I'm 1 short, right? But we could maybe draw another temple. So I'm probably gonna wait on to kick this. We'll see though. They play another tapped plaza. Getting a little flooded. I'm gonna attack with the lair. You never know. If they bounce it, it's a little awkward. It's not that big a deal though. Now they suspend a Lotus Bloom. Then they play a Ruins tapped. Huh. Well, this would have been a lot better last turn. We may be activating Lair of the Hydra a bunch. Already have my utility land in play. Not a really good shifting woodland build because with all the planeswalkers, maybe okay with Emrakul sometimes. Still, I might actually just be racing with the Lair. So I'm attacking for 8 next turn. Well, I'm gonna cast the Rumble, but it's possible that this Rumble means I'm not two turn clocking them. There's an Emrakul, which I think I can cast this turn. I wonder if is it ever possibly better to Mycospawn? Like, okay, so if I attack them for 3, no, it can't be better. Again, I'm thinking out loud, chat. 4, 5, 6, 7, and so Emrakul is gonna cost. It's gonna cost 10. I can't cast it. Could we want to Trinisphere? Trinisphere does seem good here. I think I'm gonna go for the Mycospawn since we're on this beatdown plan anyways. Weird game. It also makes like Tamashik a bit worse. Could definitely see like if they just drew a land there, the Trinisphere is so awkward. Maybe not so awkward, but a little awkward. All right, and I guess I'm just not gonna think because I have not much. I could sack the spawn token or not sack the spawn token. This is 8 plus 6, so this puts them to 1. So I could have just won this turn if I just laired last turn, but 1 is not 0, but they can't play a land untapped with Tamashi. I don't know that they can win. I don't think they can win. Okay. Did not play well around Flood Maul because now I don't have lethal next turn. Maybe I did have a decision point. I guess just played the land first was bad, huh? Because then I could have replayed the land and had lethal next turn. Dang, I did have a decision. Maybe you just always have a decision in Magic. They pass the turn, which is nice. I draw a Rumble, which is hopefully nice. Guess I can't need this much green mana. So we'll find Emrakul just because it only gets got by consign. Definitely like with all like the Grazers and the Flares having 4 Rumble, 4 Stirrings to dig for payoffs. They do have the consign, and they are right that the Emrakul itself doesn't really matter because they're going to be dead anyways. Now I don't know how they win from here. Maybe I don't know if I think if they have an untapped land, they cannot play it untapped because they're at 3. So if they play Tamashi, that's -3 mana, and then they return the Ruins, they get the Bloom back, and then they can't. I think because they can't play a land on tap, I think they have 6 mana possible. I'm gonna say GG. Is this the offensive GG? Maybe they just want to chat a bit. Alright, hopefully they don't have Black Lotus. That would be pretty good here. Ooh. Cool hand. It's always an issue in Modern Brewing ramp decks to make sure you aren't just a worse Amulet Titan. You're pretty different here, right? Amulet Titan also, like, it's a combo deck that has the luxury of also being a ramp deck. It's not really a de facto ramp deck, right? A basic forest. Suspending a search for tomorrow. Cool. I think I'm just gonna main phase this. They could have counter magic. I feel like every build of Scapeshift I've seen has been a counter magic version. Well, I definitely want to keep a Karn. I don't think I need to keep this forest. So I'm 1 mana short of Stone Braining. Wait, do I not have a Stone Brain? I guess I haven't been loving it. Could get Vexing Bauble. Could get Trinisphere. Let's get a... We know they have an agent in their hands. Yeah, we know they have... Let's get Vexing Bauble so we don't have to sack our spawns. I think it's okay. Well, it's kind of weak against Boseiju. Only kind of, I guess. And my Winter Moon is pretty bad against all these basics. Are they playing Scapeshift? We sure haven't seen any mountains. I think I'm just gonna go for Mycospawn plus Coating. Is Charlotte's played in Scapeshift? I mean, there is no real Scapeshift list. There is like one player who I love who is like always kind of grinding like weird versions of Scapeshift, but outside of like that one specific format special or archetype specialist, there isn't like a living or a Scapeshift deck. So Karn Emrakul costs 10. I have 4, 7, 8, 9. So I have to draw a land. Cannot sack Mycospawn to Flare. Reclamation? It's a lot of sorcery speed cards to play Reclamation. You know, sometimes you play against Scapeshift and they just show you 10 non-mountains and then they just Scapeshift into all their mountains. I remember I would play a lot of like against Bring to Light Scapeshift and that would happen and I would always be really surprised, but then I realized that they were just playing more than 60 cards, although our opponent's not playing more than 60 cards. I do think you could play this new Flare package also in like Green Red, Valakut. They cast Planar Genesis. They must have Scapeshift. I don't know, right? Like, how could they not have Scapeshift in this deck? I don't think I've never seen someone play Search for Tomorrow in a deck without Scapeshift. So this Rumble is effectively 0 mana when it comes to casting this Emrakul. Because we don't have a sorcery in the yard yet, and it also makes a spawn. So this Eldrazi Temple lets me cast Emrakul. They're actually Neoform. It's hard to play Neoform and Agent, although we actually have played those two cards together. Oh, Mathemagics? The problem with Mathemagics is it costs so much mana to kill your opponent. It is the cheapest. It's 14, right? Like the cheapest, like one card win the game, but that doesn't necessarily make it a good plan. I guess I should probably plus my card. I have a new combo: Molten Core, Maestro plus Dark Magician. Hopefully we'll play soon. Well, let me read. Hopefully we play soon, indeed. Whenever you cast instant or sorcery spell, put a counter on it. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast it, add a mana of red equal to its power. Okay, so you get to go, you play this, and then you Dark Petition, you make 3 red, and then you make 3 black, and then you make 3 black, 4 red. So you cast all your Dark Petitions, and then you get to cast something big. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So yeah, you Dark Petition, Dark Petition, Dark Petition, and then you cast something big. I don't know what that something is. To make 15? Is it 15? I don't think it's that much. You might be able to do something like that. Good thing Time Warp is target player. Do you have to keep card? Oh, Emeritus of Abundance Time Warp. Cool. Let's say no, and then we can just put this into their hand. So, who takes the next turn? I do? They do. Fun fact, they get an extra turn before you get 2 turns. Yeah, so they get to go... Oh, Ice Wing's really good because now they can attack my Karn. You assume the last one gets Past in Flames? Okay, cool. Yeah, Past in Flames. Yeah, I mean, I think that is an interesting combo. I mean, you have to put Dark Petition in your deck, and your 2/2 has to live, so I'm not, like, super stoked, but it's really cool idea. One of the hardest things about brewing is, like, when you have an idea like this and it isn't good enough. And it probably won't be, but I'll put it on my to-do list. I think it's a really good idea. But is it a good enough idea? Or is it going to be competitive? I don't know. You know, if you had, like, Dark Ritual in the format, it'd be a lot easier. Although, if you had Dark Ritual in the format, you'd be doing other stuff, I guess. Maybe I want to Ugin this turn. I guess I can K-Command first. Yeah, you draw Dark Petition, your 2 mana 2/2 has to live. It's a cool idea. It's a really cool idea. I guess I'm going to keep Ugin. Seems correct. I do have an extra turn after this. I think. So we can double Karn next turn. I cut the Ballista. I don't want to hear it. Why would you cut Ballista? You have 40 mana. You're gonna win this game anyways. My Cityscape level. Oh, sorry, Sundering Titan. Maybe I should just be trying to Emrakul again. So I think I can just go... Yeah, I can go kick this into Sundering Titan rate 5, yeah. Because I could Ugin for mana, but I think I'm just going to Ugin to try to ultimate. Five. It looks like I miscounted. We have an extra energy, or sorry, extra mana. Don't think I'm going to try to play to Winter Moon here. Okay, well, maybe we should have drawn a card off Ugin first, huh? Although I think with the way their deck's built, like them getting Stone Rain 3 times here, it's going to be tough for them to pop off. I don't. Yeah, they probably just can't pop off from here. Intelebeam with a 23. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, so we're up a game against a Cynic Turns Brew. I don't think we necessarily need to sideboard. I think we could just run it back. The Flare of Cultivation Mirror, huh? It's an interesting build they have that's just trying to like ramp into getting the prepared regrowth guy online. Seems kind of fragile, but it does have 4 toughness. Tormod's Crypt your own graveyard to get your stuff back. Dude, people love that play. It almost never comes up. Oh, and that's what K command would be better to do that, I guess. How does a blue-green deck with 0 removal attack over and over with a 3/4? There maybe is an answer to that question. We didn't see an answer to it though. Well, we have our first year. We have a flare. And we have no lands. And I'm probably gonna mulligan to 5. I looked away. How did Spike win that? I feel like I was ahead the whole time. Was I not ahead the whole time? Any consideration for waste? I would play 2 waste or 0. Because you really only care about waste for K command, and so it like 1 waste doesn't fix for it. 2 waste can. So I think that you just want to play all forests. I think with Rumble, Stirrings, Mycospawn, you're really, really good at just always having the double land. They bolt to 6. I bolt to 5. They have a flare? They do have a flare. Oh, you're confusing how I won without Ballista. I see. Very tough. Well, that's a good draw. Oh, plumber update, by the way. Again, I got a leak from my ceiling, and I was talking yesterday about how I was worried that I was going to have to just be out thousands of dollars, but my plumber came over, he patched it up, he wouldn't take my money. We talked about fish for a while. My plumber is super chill. Man, I woke up in a good mood today. Let's wait on Mycospawn so another Rumble could let me cast K command. And also just I think I want another mana and play for Emrakul anyways. Yeah, no, he's really chill. Like he's done a good bit of work for us, and so like I have given him a few bans in the past, so he's happy to come over, and if it's just really minor, just come over. Welcome to Good Mood, and Daybreak ruined it. It's okay. I know we were looking forward to the challenge. If there's any day to miss a challenge, like the set release week is like the most fine. Don't you rent? We bought this house like 3 or 4 years ago. Ooh, they've got the Emeritus, cool. And I can't double block. This is a really good draw they have. Let's cast Mycospawn, and then we can cast Ugin next turn, which is going to be really good. So they can buy back Shardless Agent, Ice Fang. I mean, technically flares. Oh, but they have the combo. Yeah, this is infinite turns. Cool. Infinite turns on turn 5. And playing a Harbinger too. Yeah, good luck. And I haven't built a deck around it. When I was thinking about building the Time Warp Emeritus deck, I was definitely thinking of being a more interactive like turns deck, as I usually like to play it. Be like an Ephemerate Solitude deck, but this definitely looks sweet. Okay, on the play. Okay, let's keep this. I guess we can go Grazer turn 1. And then turn 2, we can cast Rampant Growth off first year, potentially. Do you think Esper Blink can fit the blue and white Emeritus? You can. You could do whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? One thing about the blue Emeritus in specifically current builds of Esper Blink is that your decks are really, really slow already, and you're losing to all the combo decks already. And I don't know that. I don't know if you should be trying to make your deck slower and grindier. I think that it's possible that I think the blue Emeritus, it's been good for us in the Dimir deck. I think that it can be good in like Mox Opal, Mox Amber decks. Trying to cast that bad boy on turn 5. You know, maybe you could play 1 or something, but it's hard for me to imagine it's optimal. It's gonna play flare, green flare, so they don't have blue flare up here. Okay. I don't think we've seen Force of Negation. I'm gonna play around. I mean, they would hardcast Force on the upkeep anyways. Access Tunnel. Ooh. Access Tunnel's interesting. I mean, it's a lot of mana on the loop. It's like an extra 4 mana on what's already a 7 mana loop. It's a cool find, though. There's a Karn, which we could cast and resolve right now. They do seem like hella weak to Liquimetal Coating. Studious first year getting in there. I got to Emrakul, a blue-white blink player yesterday, and cast a recall myself. Dang, that's crazy. But yeah, I think you need to be playing Reanimation or Acceleration if you're going to play the blue Emeritus. Like, it's not that hard to put Utopia Sprawl in your deck, guys. All right, let's see if my coding resolves. I think I'm just going to tap the lab. Sprawl is non-bow with Emeritus. In what way? So this resolves. I'm going to kill this and get ready to rumble. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types, cost 8, 3, 4, 7. I think we're still grabbing it. I guess we might as well. But maybe it's a little awkward to do that because we want to draw a land. Cost 8, we have 7. No waste. So the problem with waste is it only mana fixes for K command. So, or K Mycospawn. So you could play 2 wastes and a Flare of Cultivation will let you mana fix for K command. Or you could play 0 waste and just rely on Ancient Stirrings, Rumble, Mycospawn to find you your temples and your labs for K command, which I think is consistent enough that I'm happy with this being my plan. Yeah, I think you can play Blue Emeritus in like Omnath money piles, especially if you can play some forces in there. Okay, great draw. Just cast this first, so maybe I don't have to waste my time stone raining. I mean, maybe if they flare this. I guess another thing too is if they do flare, or I guess if I do have Emrakul controlling them, maybe I want them to have double blue in play so I can cast some stuff. But they just say GG's. All right, so 2-0. Can we just find Tormod's Crypt if no land? People are so thirsty to Tormod's Crypt stuff back. I don't even know what Tormod's Crypt is doing there. Well, I'll keep this. Grazer best top deck. Am I kid in a candy store overwhelmed or bad overwhelmed? Kid in a candy store, I guess. You know, I've been, you know, I've got a lot of you know, stuff going on outside of the stream. It's been like an insane 2 weeks for me, but I've enjoyed having Strixhaven a lot. And I take my Ugin because it's my imprintable. Play Forest. Mycospawn can fetch Teetering Peaks to make it 11. That's some tech. Don't know if it will make the list, but tech for sure. Probably take a Mycospawn. Got a lot of types in the yard for Karn. Planeswalker, instant, kindred, sorcery. So I guess it's Hideaway 4. Hideaway 4 is not amazing. Is one of waste not good? Okay, this is I've been asked a lot. One of waste is not good. 2 waste is good. So you can play 2 waste so your Flare can fix her K command. I think that makes your deck worse overall, and I think that Mycospawn Stirring's Rumble give you consistent enough double lands you don't need it. And I guess just that's probably the last time I'll answer that for a bit. So they return to Fairy with the Overlord here. A little late on this K command. Think we're supposed to cast it? We just have so many green 1-drops, I just don't want to play 2 wastes. Your Maverick deck's been a blast to play. I would try a version that's Karn, mostly because I want to have Bridge, Ballista, or board. I mean, it sounds fun. I wouldn't recommend Karn, but it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. You do have like the mana for it, I guess. I think I prefer like the Thought on Seers with the Nantuko. That is what you'd cut for it. So they get in with the Overlord. They mill a Solitude or a Witch Enchanter. They choose Solitude. We're going to take 5. You find another copy of Mycospawn. I think I'm just going to go double Mycospawn this turn. Probably going to get another Temple for Emrakul in K command instead of another... or instead of the Lair of the Hydra. Lair, I thought 9. Let's get the Lair. And then I'm gonna. I mean, they probably have another Felia here, but I'll probably try to double block. Maybe Ugin next turn. GG's, I believe in Green Emeritus. Gotta make it work somehow. Yeah, I think it's an interesting draft. Some people were concerned about your ability to like attack through blockers with that deck. I feel like with the Green Emeritus, I'm probably wanting to play like Bant Ephemerate control, but I'm also like so addicted to that archetype I might be blind. Ooh, baby! Sky Coach Conductor has hit the battlefield. All aboard. Will they all aboard their Overlord? Say that 5 times fast. Get Bridge. Bridge is a little bit weird with the Witch Enchanter that's in the yard right now. If they get it back. I think next it's also like I don't know if I go put Ugin in my hand, cast Ugin, cast Karn, cast Tormod, Crypt, exile 3 things. It's hard to imagine that that's ever going to be worse than doing something else here. Although maybe they're going to go after my spawns. So they all aboard the Solitude. So this into my hand, 5. Yeah, I have to keep both spawns if I want to go Ugin into Karn next turn. I can take 10. So they have stopped me here, so I guess I could draw an Imprintable to still go for the Ugin. I guess if I draw an Ugin, I just keep this tapped. Okay, so now we're going to go for the Bridge, although will they just get Witch Enchanter back with Overlord here? Wisp is not... I guess they could Wisp the Bridge. Yeah, they don't have to target the Enchanter. So, can't cast the Ugin anymore. This is 10 damage. I'm at 9. Don't think there's a line, guys. Bridge time. My opponent has Flicker Wisp in their hand. Right, running back. Should be a good matchup. Mite and block. They just flicker the blocker. I think maybe we had enough mana to Lair, Mite, and block. I think we're still super dead. Ugin without Karn. I can't cast Ugin there. There's not enough mana. That would have been the play. Reason to get Temple and not Lair. Reason, or you're saying that turn was a reason? Well, we didn't. The Temple didn't matter. We didn't have Eldrazi spells. I think Emrakul was still castable. We had a lot of types in the yard. Not that we drew it. Okay, on the play. So I think this is a hand where we just sack this first year to Flare because we don't have the second land in our hand here. We still keep Multicore Maester just kind of fine. 2/2 evasion, get big, and right deck. Maybe not modern power level. Yeah, I mean, I do think it is interesting with the Dark Petition stuff. It sounds very fun. Tempting hand. I mean, I think it's just easy keep. You just don't wait to try to cast the Rampant Growth. Just do this, and we can play Rumble and Stirrings next turn. Yeah, Tormented Thoughts is pretty cool with Grudge. Probably just rather be Life's Legacying. It's one less mana. I think you'd just rather draw than make them discard in most of these builds. They take this Mycospawn, which I think was pretty inevitable there. Draw Boseiju for turn. I think I kind of just want to take Ugin. Ugin's just the best card of the matchup. Okay, nice. Almost bricked on the Stirrings though. Maybe it's good. I guess I'm just gonna kick the Mycospawn here. Wow, they don't even have a play. The Flare package does seem really good. Like, you just have so many crazy starts, and you do, you know, I don't know, it's not necessarily optimal, but, and like the main goal is to test just the package in general. But it's felt pretty reasonable. Yeah, the challenge didn't fire today, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna play as first year in Rampant Growth and put Ugin back into my hand here, and then hold Mycospawn back to block. I don't think we care that much about trying to race this game. So interesting, they did not cast Felia last turn, and they did cast it this turn. They didn't have a consign on the Mycospawn turn either. I don't think we need to. Yeah, again, not attacking because of Felia, which I did say. I did say. You want to be able to block it so they can't just flicker a thing for value and keep the Felia around. Yeah, maybe they just forgot to tap it. Wandrix Charm targeting a 1/3 Orboroid is nutty. That could be, I did have that one Simic build we never got around to. Thinker F6 to end of turn. It didn't really feel like they were, but I mean, they could have been. They could have flickered the Mycospawn. Not a big deal, I guess. All right. I guess they have consign. Well, they didn't play in theory they drew Felia this turn. Is that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean Ugin resolved is just game over. It's, I think, even almost silly even to not concede, but whatever. Well, my Studious first year bounced back to hand. Yeah, it's like so much. It's so much loyalty. I'm not the biggest fan of Ugin's design. Challenge did not fire today. Let's keep this on the draw. Opponent is on a mull to 5 on the play. Would love to find a Rumble. Sorry, well, I have a Rumble. A Flare. So they've got a Thoughtseize. I definitely do not mind when my opponent mulls to 5 and they Thoughtseize me. Unless I'm playing Neoform, I guess. They take the Rumble over the first year. Maybe they have a removal spell for the first year. Maybe it's just the right take anyways. No second land. No second Thoughtseize for the Karn. Weird game. All right, let's get a trophy prediction going. Well, I gotta keep this. My opponent's Serum Powders, they're playing the Cosmogoy Fling deck, which is probably a really bad matchup, but we can turn to get rid of Cosmogoy potentially. And their deck's also not very consistent. Opponent's also 3-0. So they keep 6, and then they devour Destiny. They say no to a Gorge, no to a Marsh, no to a Spoils, no to a Forest. They play a Gemstone Mine. Hopefully they just run a Cosmogoyf out instead of waiting to fling. Okay. That's the best draw, as always. So let's see if they have Spoils of the Vault to kill me turn 3 here. Although it's not a guaranteed kill. Plunge of the Darkness is a lot closer. So that, yeah, if they have Cosmogoyf plus a fling effect. And they're pretty likely to have that. They say no to Thud. They also need untapped land. I think I'm going to make spawns. This Cosmogoyf deck is something sometimes, huh? They also only have 1 counter left on each Gemstone Mine. Seven, 8, 9. So it doesn't look like I can cast this Emrakul. I guess I'm going to keep the Stirrings. So this should buy me a turn. What's this deck's plan versus energy? What do you mean? You cast your big stuff and you cast Ugin really fast, you cast Karn really fast, you cast Emrakul really fast and hope it's good enough. Just like this it's just like it's your plan in every matchup. I'm gonna I'm gonna do the thing. Oh well, I just feel like they have to have Thud in their hand, right? It has to be there. Not too often Emrakul is dwarfed by the. Also, Spoils the Vault kills them. Yeah, there's so many cards they could have in their hand that they're just dead with the Emrakul, and it's like fun. Although we kind of can't die if we Ugin, and we could maybe there's a weird combination who could die otherwise. Why not Ugin first? Because it's so cool to sack Thud to kill themselves. Chat is why. And you know that's why. I don't have a lot here. They were at 3. Listen, chat. Listen. Let me live a little. Am I going to bring in Trinisphere? I guess I'll bring in Trinisphere. Maybe I'm just not bringing anything in. Maybe I just want the imprintables. You know what? Their deck's inconsistent. They are 3-0, though. I think we have Grazer Flare, which is huge. Just don't have any lands. I'm going to mulligan this on the draw. Okay, keep this one. They did keep 7 after powdering. Oh. Okay, they powdered away 2 Chancellors. Oh, they're playing Temur Battle Rage. And they have double Devourer. But they didn't reveal a Chancellor. So they revealed Chancellor of the Tangle, not Chancellor of the Annex. And then they play a turn 1, 13, 14. I guess now I can Rumble next turn to block. And then I can K command, so we're gonna be dead to Temur Battle Rage, dead to Removal Spell probably, dead to Thud. Cool. Fun. Alright, on the play for game 3. They play Goyf turn 1 with Chancellor of the Tangle. Sounds really good if we draw K command or Ugin Slab. I think we can keep this. I guess Flare is good off the top. They have another 7-card Serum Powder Hand, although they exile another one, so then they have 2 left. And they have Gemstone Caverns and Chancellor of the Annex. So I guess I wait a turn on the Grazer because it's going to get Chancellor of the Annexed. And then they play a turn 1, 8/7 Goyf. I guess I block. Oh, I was going to die to Plunge if I didn't block. So they go down to 1 life. Thud? Wow, back-to-back turn 2 kills. Well, that matchup does seem tough. Cool. Hard to feel bad about losing to that one. So Labyrinth Mirror, they print Ugin. Sorry, Ulamog. Too many big boys. Hard to keep them all in track. Ooh, Warping Whale? Okay, well, this one will resolve, I guess. I love turn 1 Warping Whale. Boseiju? Did you consider All Is Dust? I think with Ugin, you don't really care about All Is Dust. Ugin is kind of like its own All Is Dust. Well, let's get Karn here. I think we should get Coding. Do they have turn 1 Warping Whale to turn 2 K command? They do. That's pretty good. They put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. They're playing... Is this Sire, maybe? Maybe it's another K command? Okay, it's another K command. Looking for a Karn, I guess. Maybe Thought Not Seer. So I'm grabbing another deck for after this. One day they'll put Modern on Arena. Play the Trudge. It's kind of tempting. Thing is, it's not like really updated, and I feel like it's just kind of challenge ready. Or I mean, it's like the sideboard's updated. Like we'd be playing Trudge if we didn't have like the most interesting standard set in years. To explore. I want to play the Is It flashback deck. Definitely. Okay, what did they get? They get a Cityscape Leveler here. Wait, they got Leveler? Okay, all right, because of the Karn. I drew another copy of Karn. So let me go grab Winter Moon. And I think I play the coding out. I don't think I'm going to be Boseijuing very aggressively because it helps their Winter Moon. Oh, sorry, I tapped bad. Now I can only untap one temple. Well, maybe Boseijuing the lab makes sense. Wait, they targeted by Winter Moon? They have third K command? Third K command would be pretty nuts. I'm going to target my coding. They have Dismember instead. Because they Dismember my Winter Moon. And then their Karn takes 2. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm gonna Boseiju Tron piece. You could play a Woodland. Maybe we should be playing it. It's a bit weird because it's not. It's kind of only good with They played the tower in second. Get the tower. Wait, am I wrong about that? I am wrong about that. You could play it. I just don't like that it enters tapped very much with all the grazers. But Mycospawn? Well, I didn't know people still played Mycospawn and Tron. And they level. Okay, let's pack it in, I guess. Could give him 2. If you Boseiju with lab activation attack, yeah, they do still get the card because it's still like it says put this creature in your hand from exile. That still happens. Yeah, challenge did not fire today, unfortunately. That's okay. We got a lot to explore. And unfortunately I can't play challenge Monday either. Maybe I'll try to slip another one in the week sometime, but I have a doctor's appointment Monday. All right, on the play, game 2. Hard to mulligan Grazer Flare. We have literally nothing else. I guess I have to. Okay, first year Flare with only 1 land again. Which is going to be fine. Yeah, Winter Moon off of Karn is a big part of like why I'm interested in this package. It's always tested really well. It's an awesome Karn target if you're playing the Flare package, but you have to be playing the Flare package for it to be good. Yeah, I think I might need to take the Boseiju here. Temple is maybe better if I am hitting Mycospawn though. Yeah, so I would have hit the Mycospawn. I guess we'll still grab it. Trying to brew first year Flare Party Thrasher. Hold on. Yeah, I think I just Boseiju them here. With it escapes the wilds. Yeah, I don't know. So the idea is you go first year on turn 1, then turn 2 you go Party Thrasher and you cast Rampant Growth. It sounds fun. There may be something there. As far as like what to win the game with, like I usually don't sweat too much. You know, you have tons and tons of mana and tons of cards. Oh no, now you have to win the game. So they've got their own Mycospawn. Brutal. It stinks that the only reason they've been able to cast this is because I've Boseiju them. But I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Or maybe that's how it goes a lot of the time. I guess I kind of have to cast my own. Our draw's pretty awkward here. Thoughts on Academic and a Hollow One build? We saw a draft of that deck that I think it looked pretty good. I have Academic in like an Improve Bones, Cauldron, Goryo's deck. Then there's Tron again. All right, 3-2, 3-0 to 3-2. Boseiju's a drawback. I mean, Boseiju's a drawback, but it just kind of stings that like I just always think it's so greedy that they play Mycospawn with so few green sources. Although maybe this just is a big part of the plan. You get fielded, you get Boseiju, you can just cast it. Okay, we're gonna play the Is It Flashback deck next.